Well, hello. Welcome. It's good to chat with you again. So much of our potential in life has to do with how we think. And our thinking process can really be augmented and improved when we cultivate the ability to have vision. That ability to cast our minds into the future, maybe many years ahead before our actual future selves come upon us in our own reality. Remember that old scripture in the Old Testament in Proverbs? It says, quote, where there is no vision, the people perish. Vision is really a virtue. It's an acquired virtue, but it's an absolute essential quality in the area of financial planning. Hi, my name is Mark McKell, and I'm the managing partner of McKell Partners. We're a comprehensive wealth management firm on the West Coast. We have a growing group of people who are helping others experience financial peace. In the area of financial planning, there's often different concepts or analogies or different framework or models or things we use to help people see their financial lives differently. I want to talk today in this brief video about a 3-step planning process. It's called goals, risks, strategies. Okay. And I want to share a slide real quick here, if I could, to be able to kind of teach you this particular concept. These are 3 important steps in the area of planning. And we at McKell Partners apply these steps over and over again when we're working with clients. The first step is what's important to me. The second step, what risks do I face? And the third step is what strategy should I deploy? Let's think about these individually for a few minutes. When we're working in pre-retirement with an individual, a family, or maybe a business owner, the most important thing we need to do first is this step number 1. What's important to me? When we think about retirement, what about retirement timing? When do we want to retire? What about other specific goals? Maybe it's relocation. A lot of folks who retire decide to up and move or downsize or be in a different place. If a husband and wife are retiring, they likely have different timing. What does retirement look like to you? What are you going to be doing? Travel, hobbies, grandkids? Some people are starting a second business. Maybe we're doing something part-time. What's important to us? Many people talk about wanting to live their lives and be independent and not have to rely upon other people. The next step is, well, what are the risks that we face, right? What are the risks that we face? Now, I've got another video I'm going to do on all the different economic risks we face, but we've got to identify the risks. We've got to identify the threats. Maybe it's market risk. Maybe it's survivorship risk. What if your spouse doesn't come home? What happens? What if it's inflation risk? Boy, we're seeing that go on today. Or litigation risk. What if I get in an accident? It's my fault and I get sued. Legacy risk, interest rate risk, default risk, credit risk, long-term care risk. What if I have catastrophic illness? There's all kinds of threats and usually things that we're concerned about. So in step 2, we want to identify the risk and then we want to quantify the risk. We want to be able to put that risk into financial terms. Okay. Step number 3. What are we going to do about it? What are the strategies that we're going to deploy? Now, the problem usually is people start with number 3. They think about what they're going to do first without deeply thinking about what's important to me and what are the risks that I face. But we've got to go through this in the process that I'm outlining here on the screen. What are the strategies? What specifically should I do to mitigate the risks or threats to help me reach my particular objectives? This is important. Let me stop share here for a minute and go back and just kind of summarize this 3-step process. This is absolutely essential. One of the objectives that someone has in the first step in their financial lives is, I don't want to be dependent upon other people. Well, what's the risk? What if I get sick? The third step then is, what is the specific strategy? Well, do I have a long-term care plan? Do I want to just be self-insured? Is there some sort of a leveraged approach that I need to be able to take so I'm not on the hook for all the money? Do you see how those are all linked together? I have 4 married children and have 12 grandchildren under 9 years old. I have found over the last 10 years or so, I've kind of fallen into the coach on the phone, right? They'll call me with different kinds of questions. Like they'll call and say something like, Dad, I'm thinking about, I need to buy a new car. Guess what? All of a sudden, I'm back into these 3 steps. So I asked, well, tell me a little bit about what are you trying to accomplish? Well, we got another baby on the way. Yeah, I know that. And our existing car is not really going to fit very well. So we're thinking about purchasing something else a little bit bigger. Okay. Well, what are you thinking? Well, this car or that, this or that, whatever. We have a conversation. Well, and then I get to step two, right? What are you concerned about? Dad, they're so expensive. I'm not sure if we need to have a car payment. I can't really pay cash. Maybe I end up trading it in, the car I have, but I'm not really sure what it's worth. Maybe we should do this later. I'm not sure if we should do it right now. And we're kind of not on the same page. Until we understand what your objectives are, and then we understand what the concerns or the threats or the risks are, then we can go to strategy and we can talk about exactly what we're going to go do or what we're going to go pursue or the specific action that we're going to take. I hope that's helpful. I hope this three-step approach helps you to look at your financial life a little differently. I think the key is to slow down, time out. Let's understand what your objectives are. Let's understand what you're trying to accomplish. Let's understand what you're concerned about. And then let's develop the right strategies. In an effective financial planning process, we're going to have multiple strategies. We're going to have all kinds of items that are important in your financial life to be able to ultimately help you get where you want to go. Okay. I hope that was helpful. I just wanted to share the three-step process with you. It's so great. And it'll help you in your financial lives, but it'll also help you in your individual lives as you're working with kids and other people you're working with, maybe other organizations or faith organizations or where you're donating your time or helping others in the neighborhood. It's really applicable. Hey, have a great rest of the day. I hope you have a great rest of the week, and I hope we have an opportunity to meet sometime. Take care.